Thank you for your interest in the People Not Property Project. This video is associated with the grouping information for individuals in a particular deed. Here's our spreadsheet from previous video, and in this case I have changed the names here to agree with the handbook itself. So here where it had the Gordons, and let me format this with a word wrap, and we have John Gordon, William Gordon, James Gordon as the grantors. The grantee was William Wilson. The slaves listed were Let, Ray, and Hannah. And let's do a wrap on this one so we can see this one as well. There we go. Let, Ray, and Hannah. There were 3 of them. We see their ages. We do not know Let's age, but we know Ray is 5 and Hannah is 2. And then the information request is for family, and let's do the drop down box here for family. We've got individual, group, mother and children, family, other. All right, back to the handbook here. It says exactly what the options are associated with family. And let's keep going here. Let's talk about gender as well. You can have all males, all females. You can have a mixed group, or it could not be stated. Again, no blanks. We'd say not stated. If the gender is not stated, either whether it's male or female, we could say not stated. The names, just you may look at a name and think it's one gender. That does not necessarily have to be true. Again, names, gender, association with names change over time. Age, for our purposes, 15 and younger is a child, 16 and over is an adult. So if it's all 16-year-olds and older, we could say it's all adults. If it's all 15-year-olds and under, we can say all children. Otherwise, it's both or not stated. We don't know whether or not we have children or adults. There's not much we can do at that point. And then we have the color or the race, and there are multiple versions for that. For color and race, the handbook goes through and gives that information. So we have Negro, white, mulatto, Mustee, Native American, Griff, other, or not stated. So we're in our drop down, we have that information. So on our spreadsheet, we could go through here and say, let's see, let's say this is a mother and children as an example. So we would handle that drop down. The genders here, it's a mixed group, my recollection is. And age, all adults know, all children know, it is a mixed group. Because we know that from the deed, and they're listed as Negro. And then we have the amount and currency. Let's go back to the document. All right. And as it says, the amount and currency, this is the amount paid for those individuals, if we know in fact what that was. In the case of deeds of trust and partitions, we may in fact know that. So if we know it, we put it in. If we don't know it, put down not stated. And the currency type is going to be dollars, it could be pounds, it could be shillings. It's whatever the currency is associated with the particular transaction. And as we mentioned, for a deed of trust, it could be just there is a nominal fee that was exchanged as part of the deed of trust. And so we would place in here, let's say this is a sale. I forget exactly what it was, but say this is 1,000, and let's say it's dollars. All right, we could say that. Or if it was a deed of trust, it could be $1. And let's PF2 back up to a singular dollar. or maybe it's shillings, maybe it's 200 shillings. Whatever is there. If it's not stated, we would put not stated, in which case not stated as the currency. Whatever is the situation for the particular deed you're working with. And by this point, you would have completed the row associated, or it could be rows if it's a partition in kind or a partition in trust. And we'll need to, we may need to make some notes. Brief. This is not writing forever. This is just a very brief comment. I could not read the name. Could be there. The name. Let's say could not read the name. Guessed Susie as a name. Just so somebody knows who's looking at that later, that knows that, yeah, there could be some room for interpretation or whatever, but just something ever so brief. Your choice in terms of what you want to have in there as a note. So once you've completed this process, then for that row, you've completed the indexing for that particular slave deed, and you'd move on to the next slave deed. But there is additional information in the handbook that we need to discuss. So see one of the other videos.